So that was just the intro.
In a world of technology, the future is online. Tune in to www.radiobulamasi.com. radiobulamasi.com.
A message from Fraser Health's South Asian Health Institute. British Columbia is currently in a toxic drug poisoning emergency. Deadly substances in the drug supply are claiming the lives of 6 people every day. This health crisis is also impacting the South Asian community, which could be our loved ones or neighbors. Listening and checking in on people who use substances can be one of the best ways to help. Fraser Health also offers free and confidential drug checking and support services. Courageous conversations about drug use can save lives. Visit fraserhealth.ca/SAHI for more information, or call the South Asian Health Institute at 236-332-6450.
And good evening. Welcome to Radio Bulamasti as well as DreamsAsianTV.com. I'm your host Aisha, and जरूर दोस्तों ये program English में होगा ताकि हम और लोगों तक पहुंच सके. So this program will be in English definitely, so that Teresa can understand what I'm saying as well. I am your host Aisha, and with me I have Teresa Collins from Blended Spirit, and this program is sponsored by Blended Spirit, none other than Teresa Collins. So once again, welcome to the show, Teresa.
Thank you for having me back. I'm so excited to be here again.
Well, we got such a good response. We had to bring you back, and we will be doing more shows together with you.
Excellent.
We're here to help our community, Teresa. We are here to reach out and help in any way possible. And that's the whole idea of doing this program, is so we can help each other out. And you are a great resource for us, so we figure why not. And when Teresa is sponsoring this program, for sure, we want to take the expertise from Teresa and spread it out to the world, because our station is being listened to all over the world.
That's exciting and scary and awesome and amazing and all the things, right?
Everything all at once.
And at least I can understand you. Thank you.
So earlier when I was speaking in English, she was just staring at me like, what is she saying? So yes, we would never talk in a language where you are sitting there and like, is she talking about me?
Oh yeah, no worries. I do love it though. It sounds so fluid, and I think maybe I'll have to start picking things up, right?
Hey, you hang out with us and you'll learn it pretty quick.
I like it a lot, actually.
Once again, our program is sponsored by Blended Spirit, Teresa Collins. Teresa, what's your phone number?
604-375-1905.
So after the program, if anyone has any questions or would like to get a reading or healing done by Teresa, you are more than welcome to give Teresa a call. Don't hesitate.
Yes.
Before we start today's program, it is new moon today. We will talk about the new moon. We'll talk about the wellness show that Teresa was part of last week, and also mental health and wellness as well. So before we start those topics, Teresa, why don't I get you to do the honor of telling our viewers and listeners, what can you do for the society? What kind of services you offer?
Okay, so I offer psychic abilities, which is kind of guidance, though. I don't do the regular 5 years in the future, 10 years in the future. I help people with the here and now and finding different keys for success, for love, for health, for wealth, family connections, kind of all these things that you're like, I wish somebody would just tell me. And I'm the person that can just tell you and give you that guidance. Now, I'll only tell things that are in your highest good, and I only tell positive things. So I will give you a heads up if it's maybe a pattern that you could change or shift, but I won't tell you that you're doing something wrong. I also do life coaching. So I have some great tools in my toolbox to help you actually enact that guidance and start taking small steps to make big changes in your life. I also do Reiki, which helps you release blocks, cut cords, and generally shift the energy, which really helps you fall into alignment. It helps with blood pressure. It helps with stress levels. It helps increase your immunity. I have many things in my toolbox.
Wow. A lady that shifts hats all over the place and willing to help our community. So thank you very much for the great intro, Teresa. And once again, Teresa's phone number is 604-375-1905. I had to write the number down.
It's good.
So it is a new moon tonight. What can you tell us about the new moon and how does it impact people? I know the month of Ramadan starts tomorrow, the day after, so it's a month of blessing for us. It's a great month. There's a few other festivals going on in the same month, so for me it is a very great month coming up. But let's talk about new moon, and from your perspective, what this new moon symbolizes, and what else can you tell us about the new moon?
Awesome. So the moon is a really amazing thing. It's a celestial body that we are connected to. It's more of a scientific thing. It is learned in science. We are different planets, and it's connected to us from gravity. It moves our tides. It moves our water, and we are mainly water. We're actually made up, I believe, of 75% water. Don't quote me. It's really obvious to a lot of people what happens on the full moon. Everybody kind of feels a little bit off, right? So as much as it happens on the full moon, it also happens on the new moon. Now, the lovely thing about the new moon is it's more of a gentle energy, and it is a great time to start new things. And it's a great time to take action. So it's like this gentle push from the universe kind of giving you a nudge in the right direction. So if there's something that you've been maybe putting off or thinking of but haven't taken those first steps, this is a fantastic time to take action on those.
There you go, and happy new moon.
Yes.
So that's great to know. Now, it really affects the mood of some people, and once again, this program might not be suitable for everyone, so viewer discretion is advised. I know some people don't believe in these kind of things. It's totally up to you. It's, we're here with information. Some people love this type of topics, some people don't, so watch or listen to at your own discretion. So Teresa, new moon or full moon, it affects people's moods. How is that possible?
Well, again, we're mainly water. The full moon is interesting because, like you say, a lot of people don't believe in it, but if you've ever gone into a hospital in the full moon, I used to waitress, so in the restaurant industry, everyone would be a little wiggy. They wouldn't realize it. Basically, it just gives it's almost like a download of energy for people, and it's like having too much sugar, and so it puts them off a little bit. So, yeah, and you're right. Take a piece of the puzzle and kind of sort out if it suits you. If it doesn't, toss it away. Or you may find something that suits you 6 months down the road, and you're like, hey, she told me about that.
That is so interesting. Sometimes it's like, I don't really care about all this stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like a light bulb goes on, and I heard this, or this happened, right?
I love those.
So those are great
I
moments.
love those moments of awe and inspiration, and when things finally click into place. Yeah.
So there you go, a little bit of information on the new moon. Now I know you were quite excited the last time I talked to you. You were going to a wellness show.
Yes.
Well, what was your experience like over there?
Probably the most transformational show I've ever done. I was scheduled to speak once on stage. They actually asked me to speak twice. So I spoke the first day on intuition, the second day on the magic of crystals. I did free card readings for the community. The first day I did 72.
Wow.
I know, right?
72.
I had gone in there with the intention of reaching 100 for the weekend, and I thought that was a little bit stretching, and I had hit 72 my first day out.
How did you manage? When I was in customer service, I used to count my phone calls at the end of the day, and it would be like 40, 50, and I was exhausted. And there were just phone calls in and out, right? How did you manage? How did you feel after doing all those readings? Because you were dealing with other people's energy.
Yes, and
I have a hard
I know,
time
right?
dealing with one person's energy.
So this is where I have a gift, and I can also teach other people to do it.
Ah.
Because I was actually elated. So after my 72, we went for dinner, we went for a swim, and then I did my YouTube channel, and I actually wrote the next day's hour teaching that I was doing. So I had tons of energy because I
Good for you.
use it to pump me up, and I'm inspired, and it's obviously one of my tools and my gifts. But also I took breaks when I needed it. So even though I was working so much with the public, I made sure I listened to my body. I ate when I needed to. I had drinks when I needed to. I took a break, took a walk. I listened to my needs as well. I didn't just get lost in the customer service part.
I think that's one of the problems that I should speak for myself, is sometimes we get so buried and carried away with work that we forget to have a sip of water, we forget to eat, we forget to run to the washroom.
Yeah, even take lunch. How many people work through their lunch
Well,
break?
forget about lunch. I can't even get to the washroom.
Right? And then by the time you go, it's just like, oh my gosh.
I do that a lot, especially when I'm live on locations.
Yeah.
It's like go, 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 go.
Yes.
And by the end of the day, I'm just totally exhausted. But
Yes.
good to hear, self-love.
Yeah, and it's more than self-love, it's care of self. So, and it's funny because we think that people will maybe judge it, but when I said to somebody, you know what, guys, I need a 5-minute break, can you take us back? They were like, oh, yeah, go take it.
Wow.
I just needed to ask for it.
Yeah,
It's funny, right?
it's true, right? You won't know till you ask, first of all. And you've just showed us a great role model.
Thank you.
Next time I go do something, your words are going to be stuck in my head. Take a break. Take a break.
Yeah.
Go take a bio break. Or go get a glass of water or a sip of water.
Yes.
Or eat something.
Just
right?
take a breath. Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing what can happen if you just stand up, stretch, and take 3 big breaths, and then just go back. And you are 10 times more efficient, and you get way better connections. What you do end up doing is so much more powerful when you can connect that way.
Yeah, a lot of times it's like we were made to just slave away.
We were
just
programmed.
to work programmed, yes.
Let's do limiting beliefs on one of the shows.
Yes,
Not
very
today, but another day.
Very true, very
Yeah.
true. Yes, let's do that. So, more about the wellness show. You did so many readings.
So that was just day 1, 72. Day 2 was 58, and we didn't have very many people in the morning. So I did my talk on stage, and then I went for 2.5 hours straight reading
So your talk on stage, what was that about?
The Magic of Crystals.
Magic of crystals.
That was the second day. The first day was the power of intuition, which was very, very, very well received, and I had a ton of comments and compliments. So if that's something you like, I have it on my self-study course.
All right. The
I'll just
magic
slide that in.
self-study course. What is that?
So I have an online academy where I have over 22 courses on different kinds of self-development, different kind of energy. There's chakra foundations, there's mother healing, different things you can take at your own pace and speed that can help you learn different things. Knowledge is power, and find different pieces of your puzzle.
So how do people apply? How do they get on that
That's
site?
on my website, blendedspiritacademy.com.
blendedspiritacademy.com. Check it out, blendedspiritacademy.com. So we'll move forward, wellness show, and so the benefits of crystals.
Right.
Yes. We were talking about pink tourmaline
Yes.
earlier.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that before we move forward.
Okay.
What pink tourmaline is and how does it help?
So pink tourmaline is one of the less common crystals that you get. Most people work with rose quartz. That's a kind of the standard one, but they do the same thing. It's about love. It's about compassion. It's about heart healings. Now, basically, what a crystal does is it just shares its energy with you. So you would use it during meditation, perhaps just something pretty and shiny in the corner, but at the same time, it's beaming a beautiful light that helps you with the love and compassion in your room.
Wow, beautiful. and it helps with anxiety. I know a lot of people suffer with anxiety, right?
Yes.
You are a counselor as well.
Correct.
So let's talk about anxiety. How can people tell that they've got anxiety or they're dealing with anxiety?
That's kind of one of those things that you know it when you know it. Anxiety is a huge challenge nowadays. So often it's like heart palpitations or nervousness, fear, you just want to run. This is all the kind of things. And what's happening in your body is it's actually creating more blood flow to the center of your body, and it's preparing you to run. Right? So it's creating more blood flow to your heart, to your muscles, so that you can take off. It's something that we've had since we were beginning of time. We needed it when lions were here. We don't necessarily need it now. But the challenge is with the world today, people are kind of living in this fight or flight idea. And so anxiety has become quite a bit of our everyday normal for people. With anxiety, though, is actually a byproduct of another emotion. So, like stress, there's usually something more deeper under the surface that needs to be discovered before it can actually be released. So that's why it gets kind of bigger and stronger. It's a form of alarm system for your body. So, like your body's going off saying, we're in danger, something is wrong, I'm telling you through this anxiety. We don't listen to our body. So the alarm gets bigger and stronger until you get forced to go to a doctor or a counselor or basically just shut down because you're not listening to your system. So how I help people is we discover what the alarm is going off for, get to the root of the cause, and then it stops going off.
I see. That's interesting. So once again, very important to pay attention to our system, our body.
And that comes back to the breath as well. So when you get anxiety, most people do is hold their breath. That actually makes it stronger. So if you can just breathe through the emotion and give yourself a minute, it starts to reset the whole system and let you know, hey, wait, we're chill, we're calm, it's okay, we can breathe.
So does that mean that we have to, again, pay attention to our body, to pay attention to ourselves?
Well, you do, or it's going to make you. That's why people get sick. If you don't pay attention to it, it starts to shut down, and then you have no choice.
Interesting. Once again, you're listening to radiobulamasti.com, dreamsasiantv.com as well. If you go onto the website right now, www.dreamsasiantv.com, you'll be able to see us there as well and listening to us on Radio Bula Masti. This program is sponsored by Blended Spirit, Teresa Collins, who is a counselor, a psychic, a Reiki healer, and a tarot card reader, and
A hypnotherapist.
A hypnotherapist as well. I keep forgetting.
Get bored, dude. I take lots of courses.
Oh my goodness. So yes, that's Teresa right beside me. We'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with you.
Message from Fraser Health South Asian Health Institute. British Columbia is currently in a toxic drug poisoning emergency. Deadly substances in the drug supply are claiming the lives of 6 people every day. This health crisis is also impacting the South Asian community, which could be our loved ones or neighbors. Listening and checking in on people who use substances can be one of the best ways to help. Fraser Health also offers free and confidential drug checking and support services. Courageous conversations about drug use can save lives. Visit fraserhealth.ca/SAHI for more information, or call the South Asian Health Institute at 236-332-6450.
Hello, this is Mandeep with Bula Kava Distributors. We import fresh kava from Fiji to Canada and distribute it to your doorstep anywhere in the world, Canada, internationally. From 112-gram bags, 224-gram bags to 448-gram bags. And new merchandise coming as well too. Tanawas, Sulus, Billows, everything Fiji. For all your fresh kava needs, visit bulakava.ca. bulakava.ca.
Once again, you're listening to Dreams Asian TV and radiobulamasti.com. You can watch us on Dreams Asian TV. You are live here on the Facebook as well. And thank you so much for tuning in. This program is sponsored by Blended Spirit, Miss Teresa Collins, sitting right beside me. What a pleasure to have you on our show, and we will continue doing this once a week. She's told me that she will be away next week, Thursday, but that's okay. We will catch up soon. So, Teresa, we are just talking about crystal rocks, and we were just talking about pink tourmaline. What are some of the, and we were talking about anxiety as well. So, what are some of the other crystals that could help with anxiety? Now, I say I don't want to believe in prescription medication, but sometimes you have no choice, you have to. So by all means, please consult your doctor if you have any health issues. But here we're talking about natural healing. And if you don't mind sharing, what are some of the other crystals people can use to help them with anxiety? A lot of people have a lot of stress, and later on we'll get into mental health and wellness, where we try to hold a lot in us. We don't talk in return. It affects our mental health. So we'll talk about that later. But for now, what kind of other crystals are there that helps with anxiety?
Do you mind if I just address the prescription drug?
Sure, yes.
So modern medicine is a wonderful thing, in my opinion. This is in addition to modern medicine.
Okay,
right?
perfect.
So that's something that I believe in. I do believe that you see a doctor, because I'm not a doctor. But this is something that you can do as well, so that we don't have to up our medication. We can start to manage things.
True, that's very true.
Yeah. So, and in general, crystals are actually amazing. One of my favorite things is called a worry stone, and it's, you put your thumb in it, and you just kind of you hold it between your thumb and your finger.
What is it called
A
again?
worry stone.
Worry stone.
Yeah. Now they can be made of all kinds of different crystals, but the point of it is to have a talisman with you, so they can help distract you from anxiety and have something to focus your energy on. So that now brings you to the here and now. The biggest thing about anxiety is it's usually because we're living too far in the future or too far in the past. So anything that you can use, even a fidget spinner.
Okay, 1 second. So anxiety
Yes. Oh yeah, I like
is
that.
caused by, yeah, I'm paying attention to your words there. I am listening.
I love it.
So anxiety is pretty much caused by if we are living too much in the past or in the future, we are not living in the present.
Correct. Because most of us in the now are safe. But if we're sitting there thinking about what happened before, or we're freaked out about what's going to happen ahead of us, that's when we start getting anxious.
Okay.
Right? If you're actually in trouble or in danger in the present moment, you're not going to get anxious about it. You're going to leave. You're going to move.
You'll deal with the
You'll
situation.
actually deal with it. Right? So anxiety doesn't actually happen when you're in danger, because you respond when you're in danger. So this is simply something that our mind plays a little bit of a trick on us, and starts blasting past or forward.
So we worry about, oh my God, this is what happened. We keep thinking about this is what happened in the past, or we worry about what's going to happen next. Or
the unknown. That's the biggest thing right now. People don't know what's going to happen. All the things we thought were stable, secure, and safe have been shooken over the last couple of years.
So here's a question then.
Yeah.
Why are we not enjoying what we have right now? Why are we worrying about what happened? We already dealt with what happened.
Yes.
And what's going to come our way, we will deal with it when it comes. So what makes us not enjoy the present moment?
So part of that is the human condition, and that's also why we're here to learn. So part of our learning experience, in my humble opinion, is to learn to be in the now, to be in the present, to find the joy, to find the happiness.
What is the best way to be in the present?
Okay, well, if we're talking about crystals, it's using that worry stone. And like I said, a fidget spinner is one of those things that's helping kids a lot. Fidget spinners, you can find them online. There's also bubble popper things right now. Anything that keeps you present in your here and now. So you notice a lot of these things are physical. So even just holding something. So if you're having a hard time and you're just having a moment, you can hold a pop can. Right? But it's going to bring you back into your body, into the here and now, into this present moment. So crystals are fantastic at helping us do that, because they're pretty, they're shiny, we can hold them. Sometimes they're cool, sometimes they warm up to the touch. They create an electric charge, which makes us realize that they're kind of not a living creature, but there's like something to it. When I say electric charge, most of us don't realize there's quartz crystals in your phone, in your watch, in the microphones that we're speaking on right now. Quartz crystals are all around us, and they hold batteries and they hold electric charge. I can't remember the long name of it. It's biosynthesis electricity. Please don't quote me on that. But basically what happens is when you squeeze it, it creates an electric charge. So this responds really well to the human form.
Interesting. So do crystals ever lose their or its charge?
No, they're rocks. They don't change.
So the energy, you don't lose all the energy from it?
No, they actually pick it up. They can pick it up. So if you have a crystal that's not working the way it should, it's just picked up too much, like a sponge, it's got too much on it. So you just want to clear it.
Interesting.
Do you want to know how to clear it?
Yes.
Seeing as we're talking about crystals. So if you are somebody that collects crystals, especially if you wear them on you, you'll want to clear them on a regular basis because they're doing their job. They're collecting all the energies for you.
Okay.
So you can clear them in the sunlight and just put them in the sun for 10 minutes. You can clear them in the moon for 10 minutes.
Nice.
Some of them you can run underwater.
Okay.
And nothing that's salt-based, though. So nothing like selenite or kyanite can go in water. And you could also do sound. So sound healing is really powerful. So you have sound bowls, you have bells, you can even clap. That's going to clear some energy out of it.
Really?
Yeah. Clapping's actually really fun to clear a room with. So if you're feeling, oh my God, that's like 20, we'll talk about that later.
You know what I'm thinking. So if you see me sitting somewhere clapping, don't think I'm going crazy.
Wonderful.
Do not call me crazy if you see me clapping. I'm trying to clear the energy.
Yes. So, and if you are questioning it, give it a shot yourself. If you walk into something that feels a little heavy, we all have this sense of energy. When we walk into a room, we know if people are happy or sad. That's sensing energy.
True.
Yeah. Now, when you do it when the room is empty, and just pay attention, does this room feel heavy or sad or happy or joyful? It's going to tell you, or it could just feel normal. That's fine. But even if it just feels normal, you maybe want to do a little clearing because then it can bring it up. Because anything that we surround ourselves in joy and beauty will help bring us up as well.
These are really good, interesting stuff that I'm learning today, and thank you, Teresa.
You're welcome. I love to talk.
You're just full of it. You're just full of
I am full of it. Oh my goodness. I like to teach. I like to take courses. I'm obsessed.
This is just full of information, and I love it. Once again, you're tuned into dreamsasiantv.com and shanatv.com, radiobulamasti.com. You're reaching a lot of people, my dear.
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming out. And this program is sponsored by Blended Spirit. Teresa Collins, if you want to get a hold of Teresa, her phone number is 604-375-1905. And once again, we'll carry on with crystals.
Okay.
Right.
You want to talk more about crystals?
Yeah, we kind of touched the anxiety part of it. And I'm so glad that the way you described it, anxiety, how we get anxiety, thinking about the past or living in the past, living in the future. But look at how much time we're wasting. Not enjoying the present because we've got the back and the forth end of it.
Exactly. That's why I have a job. You're absolutely correct. We are wasting our time, and we're overwhelmed, and we're exhausted, and we're running around in circles and really not getting anything done.
True.
Yeah.
I love your sense of humor. That's why she has a job, because of us. We are not living in the present, right? Yeah, it is so true. It is true.
Well, and the funny thing is, I learned the power of now actually in college. So I was getting a business degree, and I was taking a ridiculous amount of classes, and I was freaking out about my last class, my future class, my homework, blah blah blah. So when I learned to live in the power of now, I was in the dean's list because I was present. I didn't have to go back and reread things. I didn't have to basically double my workload because I actually was in the moment.
True. Oh, I hate it.
Right?
I hate it when you're studying and then you miss out because you're not focused well.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what did I read?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's when I started training my brain to be here now. And if I started going off course, I would just say, no, be here now. And so I was able to be extremely efficient in what I was doing. So then afterwards, I could catch up on the things that actually needed the extra credit.
You're using such great examples and it helps kind of absorb the information instead of telling, no, do this, do that, do that. So those examples are great for me anyways. I hope it's beneficial for our listeners and our viewers as well. If you have further questions after this program, do not call me.
Don't call me. We'll talk.
Please call Teresa. Please call Teresa at 604-375-1905 because I will not be able to help you. That's
Not
why, yeah.
We'll get you there, yes.
That's why we have the professional here, the expert here, Teresa. And how long have you been doing this for?
Over a decade.
Wow,
Yeah.
lots of experience. So
Yeah.
take advantage of that. Give her a call and see how she can help you. Okay, we'll get past, I guess, the anxiety, the stones.
It kind of feeds into the wellness as well, though. The mental wellness we're talking about.
Okay. So before we go there, where do you find this worry stone?
So a worry stone, honestly, you could find anywhere. It's a smooth rock. You can even find them on the beach.
I see.
They're usually just about the size of that, so about a loonie or a toonie. You can buy them at crystal shops. You
I
can
see,
buy them
okay.
online at Amazon. But they're just basically anything that's smooth that you want to put your thumb in. So it's the idea is the intention, not necessarily the stone. And it is fun to go find one. So if you want to take a walk on the beach and try to find one of those beautiful white rocks that you can just kind of hold in your pocket.
Watch us go to the beach and we start seeing all these rocks on the beach and start sending you pictures. Is this the one? Is this the
absolutely, totally. I do sell them, but I'm always like thrifty, so when you can just go pick it up in nature, I will suggest it.
That's good. Excellent. That's great. Once again, program is sponsored by Blended Spirit at Teresa Collins, phone number 604-375-1905. And Teresa is here locally in Surrey. If you want to give her a call, you can feel free to do so. And Teresa does long distance healing as well, over the phone, over video as well. That's what you said last time.
Yeah, I do over Zoom or Messenger. I also have a crystal shop in my studio, so if you ever want to like actually see these crystals in real life or have questions, just let me know.
Excellent. So let's touch on mental health and wellness. It is a very, very big topic.
Yeah.
Very important topic. And after COVID, where people were we were all kind of stuck at home, not being able to socialize. And if you're a social person like me, it does impact you. So I always believe in the root cause of the problem. First being aware of the problem and then figuring out the cause of it.
Right.
So what are some of the causes of mental
So in my humble
health
opinion,
issues?
guys, this is simply my humble opinion. COVID was almost like a form of war. The challenge, though, is we didn't really have an enemy. So, like in World War II, World War I, Afghanistan, all those things, we had somebody that we could direct our dysfunction to, our overwhelm, our dissatisfaction. They were ruining our life. Unfortunately, we didn't actually have anybody in this case, and even got further where it was like fighting with family members, and it was fighting with close friends. People lost a lot of close friends. Relationships broke up. It was challenging. It really was. So now we're looking at almost an after-war idea with people. So it's almost a PTSD idea. And again, please, it's in my humble opinion.
Exactly. Whatever we're talking here,
Yes.
once again, I would say viewer discretion is advised. Not everyone believes in these things, but there's a lot of people that do. So watch,
Yeah.
listen, view at your own discretion once again.
Yeah, and everybody responds differently to everything. So how I help my clients is first of all, we name it, we look at that, we see the different ways that we can release the feelings that came through. So mental health is such a vital thing right now because we're all a little bit unhealthy.
You know what? I think it was always there, but because it wasn't visible, I feel, this is again my opinion.
Yeah.
Mental health was always there, but because it wasn't visible, we kind of overlooked it, or we didn't want to accept it.
I think you're right, but also it was about distractions. We were less distracted, so we had to look at it. There's also an energetic piece. When we are always connected to other people, we're actually in their energy. When we were taken into the seclusion, we were forced to look at our own energy.
That is so true. That is true.
Yeah, and even...
Say that again, Teresa.
Well, some of that was channeled, so... when we were forced into seclusion, we were forced to look at our own energy and no longer be distracted by others. We have something called chakras. I'm not going to get into that in this episode, but basically they run around us like a hula hoop. People think that they're just in our body, but they actually go outside of our body. So when we're connected to other people, like we are here, your hula hoop is touching my hula hoop. So there's an
Don't
influence
touch me.
there. Oh, it's okay. It's a good hula hoop. I like your hula hoop. Hopefully you like my hula hoop.
Love your energy.
But I do work on my hula hoop. And now people weren't working on it. They weren't even aware of it. So if we think about the good things that came out of it, is the awareness that this needs to be looked at. So I do agree that this has been there before. It's the awareness now that we're opening up to.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, it used to be just for the sick, just for the people that went to review. They were the mental unwell.
Yes, yeah.
Right? We were missing that. We all need a little tweaks.
Very true.
Yes. And I like to push it even further. Surprise,
By
right?
all means.
So I like to look at it as like a physical point of view. So we have the brain, right? So we all think the mental health is where? It's up here?
Yeah.
Okay, but it's actually the mind, right? So the brain is our physical form, but it's our mind that is needing the healthiness. So we are actually 5 bodies. So we are physical form, which we know how to take care of. We go to the gym, we eat right, we drink water, we get good sleep. We've kind of got a good handle on that. Now we're evolutionizing into the mind health.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So just like we would brush our teeth to keep our body clean, we also have to cleanse our mind. Now I'm
That's
not
true.
talking about brainwashing, but I'm talking about decluttering.
Yes.
Right? And also, like, kind of being aware what's our thoughts and what's other people's thoughts, what's our opinion, what other people's opinions. Right? So this is where it's important to start taking care of our mind every day. Right? So this is where my mental health idea comes a little bit different from others.
Okay.
So it's interesting because if somebody gave you the choice to not be able to walk again or to lose your mind,
Oh God.
right? Most of us would say, oh my God, take the legs. But we don't do anything to take care of our mind every day.
That's very true.
So it's so vital and so important to us. It literally runs the whole show. If we don't think, our heart doesn't beat. So why are we not prioritizing this important part of us?
Good question.
So part of it is awareness. The biggest thing to mental health is not being aware. Without the judgment, though, we have to drop the judgment. The judgment is an emotion, and that's an emotional body. We can deal with it in a different way.
So that's another great topic that we would like to talk about, and if we have time, we will quickly touch base on the judgment, because I think that is one of the biggest challenges we have in our society today. And I think it's been there for a long time in my community anyways. The people that I've seen, where I've associated with. So judgment, we will talk about that later, but let's talk about, finish what we were talking about.
Okay, so we want to cleanse, we want to declutter, we want to release what's not ours. Now, a great tool to do that is journaling. I love journaling.
Write it down.
Right? So we want to it's like a spring cleaning for your brain. You should be doing it every day. And it doesn't have to be full sentences.
Okay, so I'll let you explain that properly for our viewers and listeners that are listening to it for the first time. What journaling is, why do you write down, what do you write down, and what do you do after?
Okay.
And how does it help?
Perfect. So journaling is simply pen to paper. Now, it doesn't have to be pen to paper. You could also do it on your phone. You can do it on your computer. Anything that puts the thoughts from thoughts into words. Words now brings it into the 3D reality. When it becomes into the 3D reality, it now becomes tangible. When it becomes tangible, then we can work with it. When it's just kind of floating in the ether, it's very difficult to work with. So we need to make it into a tangible product so then we can see it.
That tangible product is your thoughts on paper.
Correct.
Okay.
Right? So once they're on paper, then we can also have a little bit of distance from them. So it's super, super helpful when we put something down to then take a perspective back and look at it almost like a counselor or another person's point of view. It's so easy for us to see other people's problems.
Of
We're
course.
so good at giving advice.
Of course we are. Yes.
But it's hard to give ourselves advice because we're too close to it.
Very true. Yeah.
So journaling, in my humble opinion, gives you perspective. It gives you tangibility. It gives you an option to now do something with it instead of it just keep floating around like gas.
So what Teresa is saying here is whatever your thoughts are, good or bad,
Correct.
write them down on a piece of paper or on your phone or wherever you want to write it down. And then what?
Well, then if they're bad, we want to get rid of them. So if you're writing them on your phone, you want to delete them. If you're writing them on a piece of paper, you want to rip them up.
It'll be more fun writing it down on a piece of paper and ripping
I
it
love
off.
it. I love it so much. It's my favorite.
So Teresa, once let's say, okay, good thoughts are good thoughts we want to keep.
Yes.
The bad thoughts that we have, we want to write them down on a piece of paper. You tear them up, you throw them away. Why?
Why? Because then now we've done something with it. It's actually got a conclusion.
So you're
There's
taking
a
your thought
healing.
out
Correct.
and out,
I'm putting it on paper,
putting it on paper and done.
ripping it up.
Ripping
So
it.
if we think of like a physical motion to this would be similar to our bruise actually healing. So we actually have a healed part to it.
So?
There's a conclusion. Does that make sense?
It does. To me it does.
Yeah.
So let's do this.
Yeah.
Whatever thoughts we have, negative thoughts, anything that's bothering us,
Yeah.
anything that's hurting us,
Yeah.
write it on a piece of paper, read it,
Yeah.
tear it.
Yeah. Don't read it.
Oh, don't read it.
Don't read it. So
Oh.
the reason I don't want you to read it is you re-anchor it. So then it comes back into a thought. So then we begin the cycle again.
So write those thoughts, don't read it, tear the paper, throw it away.
You got it. And then you want to write down the good things, and we want to keep that. Because we want to still bring those into the 3D, but we want to anchor those in. So a great thing to do is, everybody loves to manifest. So when you rip up the fears and then write the good things that you want, it's
see.
much more powerful. And we can do a whole show on manifesting too.
Oh, we got so much to talk about, so much.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to cleanse your brain. So we want to wash it. So the same way you wash your face, you're going to wash your brain. So we do this by journaling.
So we shower every day, twice, 3 times a day. We brush our teeth twice, so however many times you do it. How many times do we cleanse our brain?
I love it if you do it every night, especially before bed, because then you're going to go with that great thing, which is the next building, which is our imagination and our dreams.
So if we were to write down everything every night before going to bed and tear that paper and throw it away, we are cleansing our mind.
You're cleansing your mind, and then you're opening new space for the good things to come in.
Nice.
So your brain is now sleeping properly. So we know sleep actually helps us heal.
For sure.
Right? So now we're actually making the most of our sleep time. Plus, instead of working out those problems we were trying to work out all day, we've released those, so now we can start moving into creating, into building, right? So as we wash, now we can start building.
Quite often I hear people say, oh, I didn't sleep well at night. I was up worrying all night. So good way to cleanse,
Yes.
let that worry out so you can get a
Yes.
good night's sleep, heal your brain in return, heal your body. and start fresh the next day.
Yeah, right.
Hey, high five.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And it's easy and it doesn't cost a lot and you can do it anywhere. Isn't that amazing?
Exactly. Free advice here. But
Yes.
program is sponsored by
Yes.
Blended Spirit, Miss Teresa Collins, phone number 604-375-1905. Try this out. Let's start trying this. Let's start this. I'm going to try it as well. And I'm getting lots of messages here. Good show, very informative, very nice, good work, good job. True, beautiful program. Good evening. So lots and lots of messages. Keep your messages coming. If you have questions, feel free to write them. If you don't want your questions on here publicly, feel free to give Teresa a call at 604-375-1905. But I'm hoping that as of tonight, before we go to bed, we can cleanse our mind and go to sleep. Because in the end, it is our life. It is us who suffer. It is us who struggle. It is us that don't get the good night's sleep or sleep at all. So in the end, you know what? It's us that's going to suffer. If we are healthy, we can keep our family healthy.
Yeah, and it's time to take responsibility for our own well-being. That's a
How
powerful
do you
statement.
say that, right? Yeah.
Responsibility for our own well-being.
Because quite often, and it's easy for us to blame someone else. It's
Blame
always
the world,
someone
blame the
else's fault.
situation, blame the kids, blame the husband, blame the damn dog, darn dog, sorry.
That's okay. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it is. It's easy. And I mean, we've been doing it for so long. It's natural. It's habit. It takes a minute to switch. It really does. But once you do, then the power, the choice comes back to you.
Because a lot of times you hear, people blaming you, people talking about you. Doesn't matter what you do. There's jealousy, there's resentment, there's anger towards you. I didn't do anything bad.
Even if you did. Still take responsibility for your own well-being.
Exactly.
Especially if you did it. Like maybe you should get on the train. Perhaps you should be a nice person now.
Yeah, very true.
Release the judgment.
Yes.
Good or bad is just a judgment.
Yes.
We are all exactly where we're meant to be. Once we can start tapping into that and releasing it, then we can move into the next level.
Step 1.
Step 1, journal.
Journal. Write it down.
Step 1, and if you don't want to think of it as journaling, think of it as washing your brain in a positive way. And then you can start opening to things like imagination and dreams. So many people, I ask them what do they want, and they have no idea because they've been stuck in survival. Right?
Just get through the days. Just get through the days.
Get to it. Just pay the bills. No. Life is a little bit more joy. It can be a little more joy. Right? Dream again. You remember when you were little and you had all these dreams about who you wanted to be and curiosity and I wonder what that tree's thinking.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
Then that's the next piece of mental health is expanding your imagination. Playing in that curiosity and that wonder and that possibility again. Instead of expecting the world to go.
But you gotta clean your mind first to be able to get to the second step.
Yeah, you have to make space. Because again, we're like a sponge, just like the crystals, and we're all filled up with all the negativity. We have no room. We're overwhelmed. We're already got so much on the go. How could we possibly add this to our plate?
That's very true. So, cleansing your mind.
Cleanse your mind.
Imagination.
Imagination.
And then?
Inspire.
Inspire.
Oh, be inspired and inspire others.
So we'll inspire others after. First we have to take care of ourselves.
Absolutely. How can you be an inspiration if you're stuck in the swamp?
Exactly.
Yes.
So how do you inspire yourself? It's like in a plane, they say put your mask on first before you can help
Yes, correct.
your neighbor.
Yes.
So how do you inspire yourself, Teresa?
How do I personally inspire myself? I love new. I love new energy.
I love new energy.
I love new energy. Whether it's a new event or a new program or a new class or a new bath bomb. I like new. I like babies. I like blooming. I like new. I love to watch transformation. I like to see other people finding their way. I am inspired by confidence. I'm inspired by courage. I'm inspired by my boys and my husband. I'm inspired by gorgeous women who have these radio and talk shows and they're lighting up the world. I gratefully get to see inspiration everywhere I look.
So that means you cleansed your mind, you have space left in your mind to be able to do whatever all these things that you've just said. But if you had so much clutter in your mind, you would not be able to get to this point.
No, because it's heavy.
It's heavy.
It's heavy, but everything I do is light, like feathers. So how many feathers can I fit in the same space as one rock? And what you focus on expands. I look for inspiration. I look for beauty. I look for things that bring me joy.
But then for that you have to have a clear mind. You have to have a clean.
Absolutely.
You have to have space. So it goes back to.
It goes back. Basic step. Let's journal that out, my friends.
Write it down. Don't read it. Write it down and tear it and throw it away and get it out of your system. Get it out of your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Release the toxicity so you can bring in the joy.
And if you don't release that toxicity, who's going to be impacted?
Well, everybody. Every single person you meet, whether it's the person at the grocery store or your kids or your husband or your dog, every single person will be affected by the heaviness. Every single person will be affected by your lightness too, though. Right? You can share a smile with a stranger, even with our masks on. You could see it in your eyes.
Well, that's why we got so many wrinkles by my eyes.
But if you looked at the whole situation, people with masks in an elevator, my husband and I were talking about it, everybody would look down. Everybody was ashamed. They were lost. They were afraid. Now, gratefully, these have been lifted, and everybody's looking at each other again, and we're smiling, and we're connecting, and we're inspiring people. So it's time to leave that baggage. It's time to declutter. It's time to start showing up in a different way. And you'll feel so much better for it. When you share a smile with a stranger and they smile back, you can't help but feel better.
That's true. That's true.
And that's how we get to the mental wealth. So it's not just mental health, it's mental wealth that I want to create.
So the difference between mental health and wellness.
Wealth.
Wealth.
So wealth, in my opinion, is all the goodness. It's the abundance. It's the overflow of the bucket. It's my cup is full and I have so much more that I can share with others.
That's only going to happen if your mental health is good.
Right. So you shift. The first step is mental health, which everybody's doing the buzzword. And then your next level is going to be mental wealth. So then you become more. You become more for others. You become that echo in the world. You are the ripple in the pond that can now help everyone in your environment.
Very well said, and I hope that, we'll have videos replayed, we'll have this program replayed. It's going to be on social media as well. Do share this message. Great information shared by Teresa. This program is sponsored by Blended Spirit. Phone number 604-375-1905. We will take a quick break, and then after that we will quickly touch base on judgment.
Okay.
You okay with that, Miss Teresa?
Sure.
You're the boss.
Yeah.
All right.
In a world of technology, the future is online. Tune in to www.radiobulamasi.com. radiobulamasi.com.
Pranita Chand, top real estate agent in the Lower Mainland. Pranita Chand आपको बताएगी कहां पर घर खरीदना, कहां नहीं, कब सही समय है, कब नहीं, इन्वेस्टमेंट कहां करे, कहां ना करे, और अगर मोर्गेज भी प्री अप्रूवल कराना है तो प्रणीता चंद को आप कॉल कीजिए 778-872-4708 पर. प्रणीता चंद from City to City Real Estate. ट्रैवल एजेंट? हाँ, ये है सोही वेकेशंस, एक ऐसा ट्रैवल एजेंट जो आपका वीजा भी अप्लाई कर सकता है, ट्रैवल इंश्योरेंस के साथ साथ जितना भी ट्रैवल नीड्स है पूरा करता है आपका। क्या और चाहिए? फ्लाइट टिकट्स, वेकेशन पैकेज, क्रूजेस, टूर, यूरोप, इंडिया, मेक्सिको, जमैका, पाकिस्तान, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, न्यूजीलैंड या तो कहीं और दुनिया में जाना है, बस एक ही ट्रैवल एजेंट आपका, जिनके पास ओवर 37 इयर्स का एक्सपीरियंस है। वेबसाइट है suhivacations.com, फोन 604-5030-440। आपका हमारा अपना ट्रैवल एजेंट। बुक योर ट्रिप फ्रॉम एनीवेयर इन द वर्ल्ड एंड ट्रैवल एनीवेयर इन द वर्ल्ड थ्रू suhivacations.com, फोन 604-5030-440। Sohi
From Fraser
Vacations.
Health South Asian Health Institute. British Columbia is currently in a toxic drug poisoning emergency. Deadly substances in the drug supply are claiming the lives of 6 people every day. This health crisis is also impacting the South Asian community, which could be our loved ones or neighbors. Listening and checking in on people who use substances can be one of the best ways to help. Fraser Health also offers free and confidential drug checking and support services. Courageous conversations about drug use can save lives. Visit fraserhealth.ca/SAHI for more information, or call the South Asian Health Institute at 236-332-6450.
Once again, you're tuned in to www.dreamsasiantv.com, DREAMZZ-AsianTV.com, ShanaTV.com, and RadioBulamasti.com. Also, the video is on social media, Facebook, Radio Bulamasti /Shana TV. So feel free to share this video. Once again, it might not be suited for all the viewers and listeners, so viewer discretion is advised. We are here talking about mental health right now, and no, we've done that. We are going to touch base. We have a few minutes left.
Okay.
Judgment. Maybe we'll continue this topic in our next program.
Yeah.
Right? But why do we judge other people, and why do we always put the blame on someone else instead of looking at what I'm doing wrong?
So there's a couple things. Let's just talk about judgment, because blame's a whole other show. Judgment is necessary in our life. That's why we judge. Because how can we know what to do in this world unless we're judging? We need to judge our distance. We need to judge our time. We need to judge our family. We need to judge our friends. What happens though is judgment goes to the darker side. And that's when we overjudge and we start comparing ourselves. So judgment is a fact of life. The thing is it needs to be a little bit more managed, and awareness on how you're judging, right? You need to pay attention to things. It is a judgment, but do you need to build other people up, or do you need to put them down to feel better? So when it becomes the dark side is when we're putting others down in order to build ourselves up, instead of just taking care of ourselves, and then everybody does well. Does that make sense?
For sure.
So we can't leave it behind because it's important, but we can start using it in a positive way. It's like this pen. This pen, it can either kill you or save you. It's your choice how you use it.
How do you deal with people that are into, well, we all judge. We all judge. I judge.
Yeah.
But how do we deal with people? I always say, Peppa's here, she's smiling, laughing. I'm not perfect. Definitely not perfect. How do we deal with people that judge you in a negative way?
I'm just super comfortable with myself. Judges be judging. It doesn't matter. That's their opinion, not mine. So the more you become more comfortable with who you are, the more you understand that perfection is impossible, and it's our differences that make us amazing, then you leave their judgments to them instead of absorbing them.
Good, right? Thank you.
So we'll do a whole talk on self-love.
Yes, we will do that. And thank you so much, Teresa. We will carry on with this program, and people are loving it. I'm getting very good response.
Yay.
So thank you so much for coming out and sharing your knowledge, your expertise, your experience. Really, really appreciate it. Once again, if you need more information, feel free to give Teresa a call at 604-375-1905, 604-375-1905. Once again, this program is sponsored by Blended Spirit. Any last message out to our viewers and our listeners before we end our program?
You know what? Just wherever you are, just give yourself a pat on the back, because these are challenging times and you're doing a great job. And you're exactly where you're meant to be in the here and now.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Teresa. Stay tuned for the next program. I'm your host, Aisha. And as you know, Teresa is a counselor by profession, a psychic healer, Reiki healer, hypnotherapist. What else did I miss, Teresa?
Life coach. I'm a life coach.
Life coach, a great counselor. As you can see, she has shared so many different examples of dealing with life, ways of dealing with life. Instead of saying do this, do that, she has shown us examples. So great coach. Thank you so much, Teresa. We will carry on with the next program. Once again, thank you for tuning in to Radio Bula Masti, Dreams Asian TV and ShanaTV.com.
हेल्थ के साउथ एशियन हेल्थ इंस्टीट्यूट का एक संदेश। ब्रिटिश कोलंबिया में आजकल जहरीले नशीले पदार्थों की इमरजेंसी लागू है। आजकल मिलने वाले नशीले पदार्थों में जानलेवा पदार्थ हर दिन 6 लोगों की जान ले रहे हैं। यह सेहत संकट दक्षिण एशियाई लोगों को भी प्रभावित कर रहा है, जिनमें हमारे प्रियजन या पड़ोसी हो सकते हैं। नशीले पदार्थों का उपयोग करने वाले लोगों से बात करना और उनका हालचाल पूछते रहना मदद करने के सर्वोत्तम तरीकों में से एक हो सकता है। फ्रेजर हेल्थ नशीले पदार्थों की मुफ्त और गोपनीय जांच और सहायता सेवाएं भी प्रदान करता है। नशीले पदार्थों के सेवन के बारे में खुलकर बातचीत से लोगों की जान बचाई जा सकती है। अधिक जानकारी के लिए fraserhealth.ca/sahi पर जाएं या साउथ एशियन हेल्थ इंस्टीट्यूट को 236 332 6455 पर कॉल करें।
Advertise your business with Radio Bula Masti. You will get the best advertising rates plus better reward. What are you waiting for? Call now 604-427-0291. Again, our phone number is 604-427-0291 or email us at Radio Bula Masti